What's up guys, today's video is on the top 5 best camera phones in 2023 through extensive research and testing. I've put together a list of options that'll meet the needs of different types of buyers. So whether it's price, performance, or its particular use, we've got you covered. For more information on the products, I've included links in the description box down below, which are updated for the best prices. Like the video, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Now let's get started. If you want to save money, we especially single out for you the Google Pixel 6a, also known as the best affordable camera phone in 2023. With the 6th generation, Google has taken a big step towards a kind of maturity on all levels, making its Pixel ready to conquer a wider audience. The key again lies in the magic Google does with both its algorithms and with its Google Tensor, which contains a neural engine that processes AI algorithms and an ISP that processes image signals from cameras. The phone itself has 2 cameras, a main resolution of 12 megapixels and a 1.4 micron pixel, as well as an f1.7 aperture lens and optical image stabilization. The second is a wide-angle 12 megapixel resolution with 1.25 micron pixels and an f2.2 aperture lens, both of which give quite good results in various situations. They have the distinctive Google phone look that many like so much, a good level of detail, HDR capable of working well in scenes with complex lighting, improved night mode, etc., providing impressive performance considering its price point. Apart from these features, this Pixel 6a has other features, such as an IP67 waterproof standard, 6.1-inch OLED panel with full HD Plus resolution, and compatible HDR technology to enhance brightness, contrast, and color accuracy of images displayed, plus many AI-based functions such as image element erasing thanks to artificial intelligence, or an algorithm focusing on achieving more realistic skin tones when taking photos. Furthermore, images taken in artificial light tend to be underexposed, but this case is much less pronounced than on most other brands due to good light management and more realistic colors compared to others who tend to overdo it instead. Sharpness is also very good overall for the Pixel 6a. For the listed price, you can't beat this one. The next product on our review list is the OnePlus 11, also known as the best Android camera phone in 2023. OnePlus is making progress and creating its best phone in years. The OnePlus 11 is everything you'd expect from the OnePlus flagship. It has the most advanced Qualcomm processor to date, a screen of excellent quality, good cameras signaled by Hasselblad, and software that, although very different from the 13 of a few years ago, has compelling reasons to convince us. This brand has chosen to use a matte finish with a rough effect and a soft touch, reminiscent of the OnePlus 10 in terms of its ability to reflect light to generate the most impressive visual effect, although only noticeable under direct light. The OnePlus 11 feels like a robust and well-built device in the hand, which gives the impression that you're using quality materials. It maintains a good balance between size and weight and is not overly bulky. The alert slider switch is located on an aluminum bezel, which fits into the stainless steel frame that surrounds the camera. OnePlus's flagship smartphones have been showing for several years that they are at a sufficient level to compete with the best models on the market in terms of display, so it's no surprise that the OnePlus 11 is one of the best panels we've analyzed so far. It's a 6.7-inch panel that uses OLED technology and offers a Quad HD Plus resolution of 3216 by 1440 pixels and can reach a maximum refresh rate of 120 Hz. Underneath all this lies some powerful hardware, Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. Pretty good performance already guaranteed. Regardless of whether you choose storage or memory configuration, you get extreme performance here in any case. And what's even better, it holds up over time despite processor temperature rise. Finally, it must be said that OnePlus achieved quite good results, particularly regarding mobile photography, taking considerable steps towards their goal of becoming major players in this field recently. For example, they changed up their sensor accompanying telephoto lens, replacing it with 32 megapixel Sony IMX719, featuring both dual optical zoom and optical stabilization capabilities. All 3 sensors do an impeccable job capturing sharpness and detail alongside dynamic range and without excessive saturation. Even the selfies stepped up with high-quality photos taken usually after minimal fiddling from your end. If you don't hesitate to spend a few dollars more, look no further. We've specially selected the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra for you. The Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra is the best premium camera phone in 2023. Samsung is revamping its flagship model, integrating the best possible hardware and the latest innovations from the South Korean brand into its smartphone. Samsung continues to bet on design with first-class materials, with Gorilla Glass Victus Plus glass finish on both sides. The edges of the phone have been kept with a flat cut that leaves rather pronounced flat corners that are not entirely comfortable to hold, but allow the S Pen to be integrated into the lower left corner and released by clicking on it. The included S Pen is unsurprisingly more compact than the one that comes with tablets and has a button and gesture recognition. In the lower part, we also find one of the two stereo speakers, which is combined with the speaker at the top, as well as a USB-C port and a slot for 2 SIM cards with 5G support. Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 enables Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.3 connections, as well as NFC and GPS. The screen is one of the most spectacular elements of the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, both for its quality and its impressive size. Despite showing 89.5% proportion of screen to front compared to 90.2% in previous generations, this new model uses curved bezels to better utilize its display area. A 6.8-inch dynamic AMOLED 2K with VK HD+ resolution of 3088 by 1440 pixels at 500 dpi, making it very good in any lighting scenario, thanks to more than 1700 nits peak brightness. Moreover, if there's anything special about Galaxy S23 Ultra lineup, it's definitely its photography equipment, making it one of this year's best camera phones. iSocal HP2 uses 200 megapixel main sensor complemented by 2 telephotos, 3x and 10x optical zoom with optical stabilization and ultra-wide-angle lens, plus Qualcomm ISP support for higher accuracy and exposure and sharpness balance, plus HDR control for maximum details extraction in photos taken even under bright daylight condition. So if you can afford this beast without having second thoughts, then go for it. It'll be worth every penny spent. For all Apple fans, we especially highlight the Apple iPhone 14 Pro, which we can freely say is the best Apple camera phone on the market in 2023. The iPhone 14 Pro represents everything that Apple wants to offer, with a design change with Dynamic Island, a main camera of 48 megapixels that few will be able to match, and a processor that continues to have an almost unattainable advantage. As for the design, we find a few surprises. We're facing an iPhone that continues with Apple's design line of the latest models, and that above all seems very high-end. The materials used and build quality are well above average, something that always stands out in an iPhone. We keep the stainless steel chassis in a glossy finish and the back in frosted glass where the huge rear camera module stands out. We come from a huge panel to the iPhone 13 Pro and iPhone 14 Pro that have been improved in 2 basic aspects. Refresh rate, which can now be reduced to 1 Hz, while maintaining a maximum of 120 Hz in brightness, which is capable of reaching 2000 nits outdoors, one of the best screens. Apple has reached a level in terms of chips that is very difficult to surpass. Yes, according to numbers given by them, A16 Bionic chip is better than A15 Bionic processor. The performance it offers is excellent. Optimization is carried out super efficiently too. As for battery life, it's quite similar to what was offered by 13 Pro, so you'll end your day without needing another charge, provided you stick to normal usage levels. The main camera of the iPhone 14 Pro takes all spotlight this year. Resolution went up for the first time many years back. Amazing 48 megapixels results. Before us stands one of the strongest cameras on the market. Photos taken are top-notch, irrespective of lighting conditions. The sweet spot of this whole setup lies with 48 megapixel ProRAW photos, though it takes some time when it comes to editing photos. Nevertheless, level of detail attained via same is extraordinary. On the other hand, wide angle was improved vastly. 3x zoom offers better details than seen before. If you're fond shooting photos, then you won't need another device than featured one, as its combination dynamic range and stabilization make unrivaled performance. Action mode works super smoothly in 2x8K resolution. In short, we have here quality product, and all we can do at the end is recommend it highly. The Google Pixel 7 Pro is the most advanced model in its family, and if you ask us, the best overall camera phone on the market in 2023. This fella has a better screen than last year's model, a more capable processor, and a camera system with relevant changes. The design of this device has glass and aluminum, both with a glossy finish, as building materials. The corners of this device are slightly rounded for more comfortable handling. On the back, it features the camera strip, which makes it easier to identify from other smartphones. The OLED E4 Samsung display provides 120 Hz smoothness and first-class color calibration. The Pixel 7 Pro cameras have been refined compared to previous models with the addition of a new telephoto sensor and image-improving machine learning model for night vision. Motion modes can now be used with the front camera too. while double zoom takes advantage of the 50-megapixel sensor to generate 12.5-megapixel images with super res zoom enabled by AI. A key feature of this new generation's imaging technology is that it allows for HDR content integration at system level for richer colors and higher contrast ratio on all your photos. Video mode has also been improved to provide 4K recording at 60 FPS through any of the 3 cameras, plus 10-bit HDR support and cinema mode for simulated background blur effect in videos, an important function for videographers who need professional footage without complicated post-processing techniques or expensive equipment. Other notable aspects include improved low-light algorithms that enhance sharpness and reduce noise even when taking pictures late at night without flash. Advanced video editing options like background music selection, multiple angle shots, enhanced face beauty activities, zoom levels up to 15 times, cinematic panning options, live streaming capabilities straight from your phone directly onto social media platforms, just like you would do with any other smartphone these days. All these features culminate in an amazing device that'll certainly make life easier when capturing special moments, either through skills or video recordings, thanks to its sophisticated hardware and software combination, as well as intuitive setup commands, which makes shooting great material accessible for practically anyone, regardless of photographic experience levels. Overall, this model delivers top-level performance at an unbeatable price-quality ratio.